One of the most common patterns that I've noticed over the years with having coached over 1,000 clients one-on-one is the one where you guilt trip yourself over not being where you are supposed to be. You should be further ahead by now. You could have done so much better, and you're disappointed with yourself because this isn't good enough. And no matter how far you've come, you can always find a reason to feel this way. There's always an area of your life that needs more work, or some kind of ideal that you had that you didn't quite live up to or hit. But ask yourself one really simple and very, very important question. In what way does this serve me? It goes for every belief, every thought that you have. Be critical of what you allow into your mind space. Be very critical of what thoughts start to repeat themselves and become recurring. Because with a thought of that nature, your mind starts to find and gather evidence for why you're not as good as you should have been. And it starts to show you that you can't be happy, you're not allowed to feel fulfilled, and that what you have and who you are simply isn't good enough. But that's not the nature of the situation. That's the meaning that we're attaching to it. And if you're guilt tripping yourself and pressuring yourself and saying, oh, I should be further ahead, I need to work really hard, I'm gonna make myself feel bad so that I do the right thing, then what you're actually doing is you're crashing your state. And what happens when you're in a crashed state, when you don't feel good, you don't do good. People who feel bad tend to perform poorly. People who feel great tend to perform very, very well. Your state is so precious, and your state of mind is everything, because if you can't think clearly and make high quality decisions, what does it matter if you have all the knowledge and understanding in the world? You won't be able to apply it, and you won't be having any big breakthroughs anytime soon. I would rather have 1 year of experience and actual hands-on practice, really solving problems and working through things and implementing, than 10 years of just studying theory and thinking and overthinking and being stuck in my head. And I think what you realize is when you pressure yourself, when you start to really get into this dense state where you tense up, everything is really difficult. It feels like you have to perform despite yourself, right? You have to overcome yourself. Everything feels so much more heavy and difficult, and that's not the way that your life is meant to be lived. At least it doesn't have to be that way. So here's a suggestion, and it's your decision on whether or not you want to take it on board. But how about dropping all of that guilt? How about the simple exercise of, I forgive myself for blank. And this is whatever shortcoming you feel you've had, whatever you haven't done as well as you wish you would have. Insert it, fill in the blank, and do 3 of these. I forgive myself for 1, 2, and 3. And just test it out, see how it makes you feel, because chances are it will make things lighter. If you want to take it to another level, you can write a whole letter forgiving yourself. Often people do this towards others, right? A family member that's hurt you, or maybe somebody that mistreated you or did you some kind of harm, to let go of that so that you don't carry it. Yeah, great. But how about towards yourself? It's even better, because you are the person who hurts you the most. There is no question about that. Anytime you don't follow through on the promises that you make, anytime where you feel you're underperforming, anytime you criticize yourself and think poorly of yourself, really start to notice, because the awareness might make it feel like you're doing it more. You're not. You're just realizing how much it's happening, and then you can start to put a stop to it. Most of us really aren't aware. We don't even know how much and how badly we criticize ourselves and, make ourselves feel bad over and over and over again, usually on a daily basis to some extent, to some degree. This isn't constructive, and it's not helping you make your life better. What will make your life better is letting go. Truly letting go completely, letting go of all of the guilt and shaming and pressure and all of these mechanisms that you've been applying because you think that's what you have to do to get yourself to perform, because it's all you know, right? It's all we know. We get taught that that's the pattern, that's how you get yourself to work and be effective, but it's destructive. And to whatever degree we're doing it, we're harming ourselves. And if you even recognize it a little bit in yourself, be critical right now and notice, pay attention, and start to really let it go, release it. Pay attention, keep the awareness high, and it will leave your system. It doesn't have to be a pattern that continues any further in your life. Today can be the day where you stop guilt tripping and pressuring yourself for the rest of your life. You can now start to move from inspiration, genuine desire, right? Something much healthier, any other fuel source, really. Anything is better than you using those lower end emotions to try to force yourself into action. Because all you're gonna find anyway on the other side is resistance. And you know that feeling of, I should do it, but then I don't, and then I feel bad that I didn't, and now it loops, and then maybe you have some bedtime procrastination, right? Where you try to go to sleep, but you can't sleep because you feel bad that you didn't do enough. All of these loops connect together. And if we can just end the core one, then the rest fall apart and they have nothing to really stand on. But every single day is an opportunity for you to grow as a person, to grow in the sense of that you control how you want to talk to yourself and how you want to think about yourself and how you want to view everything that you've done up until this point. Because although it is technically the same experience, the perspective that you put it through will largely determine the meaning that it has. So if you believe that you did your best with what you knew at the time, and you tried and you made an effort and you had to learn more about yourself to get to where you are today, then it's so much easier to let go and not pressure yourself. But if you believe that, you should have been much further ahead and you failed and you didn't try hard enough and you're lazy, right? Of course, it makes sense that you wouldn't feel very good. And one more time, remember, when you don't feel good, you don't tend to do very good. And when you feel good, you tend to do very, very well. So make yourself feel good by letting go and really deciding what fuel source is healthier. How do I want to think about it? What perspective do I want to have on my past and how I performed and how far I've gotten up until this point in my life? And if you'd like my help, support, coaching, and personal guidance on a week-to-week basis to make sure that you're at your absolute best, then I invite you to jump over to erafael.com. Link is in the description over there. You can book a one-on-one call with me. We'll talk. If it's a good fit, I can't wait to coach you one-on-one every single week. Again, if you want to take advantage of it, erafael.com. Link is in the description. As always, I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you on the next one.